Attack on Titan: The Rebellion is a lore game set in an alternate universe of Attack on Titan, in which there exists a 4th regiment hidden from the public eye. The only people who know of this regiment's existence are the Commander-in-Chief, aka the head of the military, Project R's commander, its soldiers, and the Scouting Legion commander. However, the story is a lot more complex than that, and in this short series of videos I aim to explain the lore from start to, well, where we are currently. And so, let us begin with the prologue. Kitsune Ackerman was born to 2 middle-class parents who lived in a town called Valentine. Valentine was located in the inner part of Walmaria and was known for its farming. Kitsune had a sister called Savannah, who was also an Ackerman, and a stepbrother called Alistair Rose. Kitsune was the youngest of his siblings, and at the age of 14 he decided to join the military. At this time, the Scouting Legion was desperate to gain more funding, and for more funding it needed more recruits. So, Owen Smith decided, let's start a program, let's start an initiative. We will take cadets at the age of 14 when they start their military training, and enlist them into the Scouts straight away, with the intent that they learn on the job. Owen, of course, never intended for any of these cadets to survive and have a prosperous career as a scout, but he needed to keep the numbers up, and that's what he did. As a part of a training exercise, Kitsune was placed into a temporary squad, commanded by a man named Luke. However, after showing significant skill and flexibility in this training exercise, Kitsune was invited to join Luke's squad as its newest member. And so he did. This squad was Advanced Combat Squad. It was a squad designed to be the front line in most Scouting Legion expeditions, dealing with the majority of the Titans. And for 4 years, this squad was great. They showed significant prowess, they were good at their job, they made a few enemies, especially with the military police, but Kitsune loved it. This was his new family. These 7, for the most part, misfits all got along with each other very, very well. This colourful bunch consisted of Ijiro Fjolner, Ash Browse, Zakir Yeager, Knife Flame, Tyler Ackerman, Kitsune Ackerman, and Luke Fritz, the commander. Now, everything went well until Kitsune was about 18, and the year was 845. His squad was stationed in Shiganshina on the day that the walls fell to the Colossal and Armoured Titan. The whole squad managed to survive, but of course humanity took a massive blow that day. And with all the enemies they made, things were really, really tense. Then comes the fateful day of an expedition beyond the walls. Now that humanity had less space to thrive, the Scouting Legion was funded significantly more, and so they set off on an expedition. The visibility was significantly reduced, and Luke sent off most of the squad to go deal with the Titans coming towards the newer recruits. Luke was all alone. And then when the weather cleared and they returned to their original position in the formation, ACS realized that Luke was nowhere to be found. In the end, Luke was found dead. It looked like he'd been eaten by a Titan. Well, what was left of him looked like it had been eaten by a Titan. But they all felt something was off. They all suspected some sort of foul play, and, well, they'd only be proved right. With Luke gone, the squad fell apart, basically. He was their leader, and he was a very good leader. And the status that ACS held was greatly reduced because no longer did they have the prince being in charge. There's certain things they were able to get away with, the under-the-radar assassinations. Well, they couldn't do those anymore because they didn't have the prince being their figurehead. With the 1st Interior Squad and the MPs deciding this is a great time to get rid of the people who'd been a pain in their side, ACS decided to split up. They'd go their different ways. They'd retire. Kitsune wasn't happy about this. This was his family. This was the people he grew up with, for the most part. Even though it was only 4 years, they were very formative 4 years. Kitsune after learning about the truth of Luke's demise. The king, Luke's father, being bound by the will of one of the former holders of the Founding Titan, had renounced war. Luke, wanting to free humanity, went directly against this idea. If humanity were to be freed from the walls, there would just be more to fight over, more land to try and claim. Marley doesn't exist in this version of the story. I thought it would be a lot more impactful should the players be fighting to save what was truly the last of humanity within the walls. Kitsune, being an Ackerman, of course, was very skilled in combat, and in his overconfidence he decided he would assassinate the king. He would take revenge on the person who got his superior killed, but when he tried to, he was met with another member of his clan, the head of the royal guard, a woman called Zephyr Ackerman. In the end, Zephyr was able to stop Kitsune from assassinating the king. The king, of course, knew Kitsune was coming due to the power of the Founding Titan, and Kitsune was sentenced to death. However, at his trial, the head of the military came up to him with a proposition. You see, the Premier was put into this position, being the head of the military, because he truly wanted humanity to thrive outside the walls. He was sympathetic to Kitsune's plight. He knew what he wanted, he knew what Luke wanted, and he didn't feel like letting this potential go to waste. So he made a deal with Kitsune. If he trained an elite task force, without the king knowing, without the other 3 regiments knowing, and he would have trained this task force to free humanity from the walls, to complete Luke's lifelong dream, then he would let Kitsune live. Now, Kitsune didn't accept this proposition for the sake of honor or nobility. He wanted revenge. He just wanted to buy more time. But he still accepted it. And so, 3 months passed, and Project R began.